I didn't drop out of IIT.
Oh.
I was kicked out of IIT.
How have you been and how's it going?
Happy, not satisfied. The moment you get satisfied about something, boredom, laziness, settlement, comfort, death, they all follow.
Let's talk about that one opportunity.
There are thousands of no's you have to keep saying. If you do not do that, disaster and doom lie ahead. And our aspirations were all about just putting food on the table.
Absolutely, yeah.
And bringing home salaries and not losing our job. The ability to create, the intention to make a dent in the universe, like Steve Jobs says, wasn't there at all.
Can you talk us through a little bit in short about maybe the first half a decade or just the first 2-3 years when you joined as the 7th employee?
The story goes that Sridhar and his younger brother Kumar were at a mall shopping for a t-shirt, and they saw made in China, made in Vietnam, made in South America, made in Canada, made in Pakistan even, made in India wasn't there. I need to put a warning also here. Doing what somebody else does is probably a very bad idea. This phrase called Rajini style.
Yeah.
So many people
Tried to emulate, right?
have tried to emulate.
Only he can do it.
Only he can do it. There is only one A.B. David. There is only one Chris Gay. There should be only one.
If one has to ask you to give one or say maybe 2 pieces of advice.
Opportunity knocks only once. Temptation leans on the doorbell. Why do 9 startups out of 10 fail? Never take loan from the bank. Never take venture capital. If we took money from the bank, it means we are also inheriting a clock that is tick, tick, ticking.
Was this one of the seedings of the Zoho Schools of Learning when it was getting founded?
This is not for first benchers.
Nice.
Yes, this is for the middle benchers who are rebellious. This is a commitment, and we are looking for people who are ready for that commitment. What AI is doing at the data centers is a bigger problem very soon than the ozone hole and carbon dioxide pollution and so on. If you're a programmer, show me your hacker rank, show me your Stack Overflow. If you're a writer, you claim to be a writer, show me your blog, show me your short content, your X connection.
Major topic of discussion was the 70-hour work week and the 100-hour work week.
As long as you are ready to put in mehnat, that sweat, if you're ready to put in effort, there is somebody out there ready to pay.
You know, in a country obsessed with both IITs and venture capital, this is a man that walked away from both. He rather helped build Zoho. 30 years, more than 100 million customers worldwide, 140 billion in revenue without any venture capital at all. Our guest in today's podcast is Mr. Rajendran Dandapani, one of the founding members of Zoho and the president of Zoho Schools of Learning, a school where there is no fees at all. The students rather get paid to study, where they ship real code instead of worrying about attendance. Rajendran has been a man who has never followed the norm. He has always written his own script. And in this podcast today, we are about to find out chapters of that very script. Watch till the very end of the podcast for an advice that is going to shake up your thought about building for India in India. Welcome to the podcast. Brace yourselves. Raj, firstly, I just want to quickly tell you one thing, that when the MAD team decided that we were going to come here to the Zoho headquarters in Chennai and shoot with you, it was just a very, very exciting time for the team. And then when we landed up here, it just doubled up because it's a beautiful campus. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you so much for being here with us for the MAD podcast.
Welcome. We are happy to host you here, and it's a great time to be here too, because this is the only time North Indians feel comfortable in South India.
Oh, no. Lived in Bangalore, worked multiple times in Chennai, Hyderabad.
Okay.
I love South India.
I'm talking about the climate and
Yes, true. You know, firstly, I want to ask you, how have you been and how's it going?
happy, not satisfied.
Why is that?
The moment you get satisfied about something is when boredom, laziness, settlement, comfort, death, they all follow. So happy, but not satisfied. There's a lot more to do.
I relate with this answer, Raj.
Which is why you're doing one more podcast.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
More to talk on this, that to be more content and to be more satisfied, what all are lined up, both in the personal life and when it comes to Zoho. But before that, I want to take a small little trip down memory lane. Let's go back to your teenage, early 20s. I want to ask you that you cracked IIT Madras. I mean, the holy grail. But then even before the graduation, you decided to not continue and you decided to drop out of college. I want to quickly ask you that for how many years did your parents exile you for?
So there is the romantic answer to this. Sometimes I wish I can play along with this lie. ये तो झूठ है. It's a lie. But the truth is, I didn't drop out of IIT.
Oh,
I was kicked out of IIT.
you kidding?
Yes, I was kicked out of IIT.
Please
I
tell us
didn't.
more.
Yeah, I didn't do well in the subjects I had subscribed to. Instead, I wasted, or rather channelized all that time towards learning programming all by myself, because I didn't enter the computer science department. I entered the electronics department. But my heart lay in computer science. So I wanted to learn. It was a one-on-one ego war between me and the compiler. So one day before the electronics exam, I would be spending all night at the computer center. So that's what happened. The truth is, I was kicked out. I am not a dropout.
Okay.
I am a kick out.
This is because the world knows that you dropped out. So you get this revelation here at the Mad podcast. Do you remember which semester was it? How many years were left before graduation?
Typically, I am sure there are many students watching too. This doesn't happen at one semester, one exam.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens even without you realizing it. I'll strongly warn you against taking this path. It's a path filled with a lot of disappointments, a lot of twists and turns. You need to have the right person. For me, it was Sridhar Vembu himself. Right person at the right time, looking at the right quality in you that others don't recognize, and give you that time to experiment, play around, identify your true passion, and start flowering. Not everybody gets that chance, and I am eternally thankful for what he did to me. So it doesn't happen at one moment. It happens when you lose track of that one yes you have to say, right? There are thousands of no's you have to keep saying, and there is one yes you'll have to keep saying. If you do not do that, whatever age you are in, whatever domain you have chosen to be in, disaster and doom lie ahead. So 1,000 no's for one single yes. Have that as a ratio.
Okay.
Yeah.
When this happened, that you were, as you said, kicked out
Kicked
of
out.
IIT Madras, what was the reaction from the parents?
My parents were deeply concerned about my emotional mental health. So they wanted to give me that buffer, because I was a top performer at school and I had got into IIT after all. And they expected the family, the second outer circle of the family expected a meteoric rise, flight abroad, and a continuation and a lift out of poverty, the lower middle class family that we were. When that didn't happen, they were concerned that I will have thoughts that will take me in a depression spiral. So I am thankful to my parents for having provided that emotional cushion. Whatever happens, we are there with you. Right? Every one of us needs that at some time or the other. And then as an individual, you need to learn your lessons fast, because the opportunity doesn't wait. Yeah, there's a beautiful quote I read somewhere. Opportunity knocks only once. Temptation leans on the doorbell.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll have to be very careful, because there's one leaning on the doorbell, ringing it all the time, and opportunity ek bar, just once. And you need to be able to tell the difference and grab it with both hands and run with it. Yeah.
Let's talk about that one opportunity, life-changing in a lot of ways. I mean, the company itself has changed the way India tech works. How did Zoho happen?
Zoho happened primarily because there was capability and talent here in India, but the intent and probably the audacity, the guts, it could even be just a slave mentality. Coming from way back when we were bonded to the British.
The British Raj,
could come from there. I don't know.
I don't like to call it Raj, rule.
Yep. Could come from there, because we were kind of comfortable with who we were,
Hmm.
and our aspirations were all about just putting food on the table
Absolutely, yeah.
and bringing home salaries and not losing our job. The ability to create, the intention to make a dent in the universe, like Steve Jobs says, the startup entrepreneurial spirit wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
The founding members, Sridhar Vembu and Tony Thomas, and the way they positioned Zoho, rather it was called Vembu Systems and AdventNet at that time, the way they saw it, they said, why should we go the path of all the other software companies that were typing out software, not creating,
Right.
typing out software for somebody else to put their brand name on it and sell it? So there were so many companies in India. I'll just name a few like TCS and CTS and Infosys and Wipro and so on, that were making a lot of money, going public even, recruiting in the thousands and tens of thousands.
Mass
And
recruitment.
yes, and that they did a very important job. They made the IT boom happen.
True.
But beyond a point, what was the product that you built proudly sitting here in India? That is the IP
Right.
that you created. That is more valuable than all the people who have worked on it, more valuable than the man hours that they multiplied and charged the American or the Western nation. That was the seed of the thought. In fact, the story goes that Sridhar and his younger brother Kumar were at a mall shopping for a t shirt. And they saw made in China, made in Vietnam, made in South America, some country, made in Canada, made in Pakistan even, made in India wasn't there.
Right.
And typically when you when you have a hammer in your hand, every problem looks like a nail. So for him, for Sridhar and Kumar, they wondered, why can't we build software sitting here in India? That was the germ of the thought. 6 people. I was employee number 7.
Amazing.
6 people got together. There was a room upstairs that wasn't used in the 3 BHK apartment of their family. And they started creating software for managing networks. Tony was already into it. So Tony Thomas and Vembu, Sridhar Vembu and Kumar Vembu got together building software for managing hardware, and then for assisting IT teams. And then the web boom happened.
Yeah.
.com, the bubble burst and then came back as Web 2.0. And that's when Zoho was born, 2004, 2005.
Can you talk us through a little bit in short about maybe the first half a decade or just the first 2-3 years when you joined as the 7th employee? What were those days and nights like? Like, were you coding at the same time, handling calls at the same time? What was that environment like?
I don't know if you will like this answer, because when you asked me this question, very fast, that flashback happened. But then I compared it immediately with what's happening today.
Okay.
And strangely, nothing seems to have changed.
Wow.
Because this company has not become one monolith, large, megacorp that has processes, policies, and so on. Instead, it is those same 10-member, 15-member little teams, but numerous teams, such teams, each acting with sufficient autonomy, each nurturing its own little dream of thinking big, but paying obeisance, homage to the big daddy of it all. There is that nameless, probably intangible culture that this company subscribes to. So we still act as if we don't know what's going to happen next quarter. We acted like that then. Today's conditions with COVID first and then with AI continues to have the same threat. We were not afraid of the big companies at that time. We knew we were going to fight them. We were afraid of the smaller companies with similar fire in the belly who may pip us to the game. Aaj bhi, today also, we are afraid of the same thing. At that time, we were short-staffed. We didn't have enough people to do all the things we wanted to do. Today, we are short staffed, but by design. That was by survival and need. Today, we are by design short staffed because that is when you will think about what to say no to. Remember, I was telling you about saying no
Yes.
versus saying yes.
Yes.
You'll have to spend managerial time thinking about what to say no to. It is not about yes or no, it is about hell yeah, we have to do this. And no, everything else is a no. So, all the problems, all the constraints that we were struggling through at that time created the DNA of this company. And that DNA continues to endure even today. Many of the cultural underpinnings, philosophical pillars we built the company on at that time continue to help us and serve us today.
Can you talk us, maybe give one or two examples of those cultural examples and those philosophical examples?
Stay within your means. Never take loan from the bank, never take venture capital. Because at that time, we didn't know whether our experiments would bear fruit. And we also knew some experiments. Remember, we had 6 months ago, we launched a beautiful viral campaign on YouTube called Waqt Lagta Hai. It takes time. It takes time. So we wanted to give the time needed for each of those different experiments to germinate, blossom, bloom, and bear fruit. We ourselves didn't know whether it was the right path. We weren't sure how long it would take. So we had to consciously keep it on the side, under the radar, slowly on the slow burner. If we took money from the bank, it means we are also inheriting a clock that is tick, tick, ticking. Venture capital, same thing. Going public, same thing. So we said, opium, it's a drug, other people's money. No, don't touch it.
For those who don't know, will you tell us the full form of opium?
Opium is OPIUM, which is the drug,
Yeah.
but we call it OPM, other people's money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will not do that. That's one thing that has still served us. Zoho Schools happened because of that. If we had gone to a venture capitalist, taken an infusion of large amounts of money and grown big very fast, quarter to quarter, we had to prove to them that we are doing well, that we are dedicating the resources properly. But Zoho Schools is not a 1 year game. It's not even a 5 year game. We invest on young minds and we teach them, nurture them, train them, and eventually they surprise us with their talent, their industry, their innovative spirit. Would a venture capitalist have given us time?
That time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the philosophical underpinning I told you about.
Raj, you mentioned you started the answer with saying stay in your means. And that even when the company
Don't take loans.
don't take loans.
Yeah.
I love that actually.
Yeah.
I love that. I've vouched for that all my life as well. Immediately, an answer that I had heard in a different podcast came back to me. In 2024, I shot a podcast with Dr. S. Somnath sir. He was then the ISRO chief. Yes, he was then the ISRO chief. This was to celebrate Chandrayaan 3 success actually, the podcast project. And I asked him, across the globe, ISRO is famous for carrying out these incredible missions at extremely limited
Shoestring
budgets.
yeah.
Absolutely, extremely shoestring budgets. And he told me that this kind of stems from the Indian culture and the Indian teachings, which have been passed on to us from our grandmothers and our mothers and fathers and grandfathers, that stay in your means.
Right.
Don't waste. Make sure you use only that much that is absolutely a necessity.
Right.
So how much of that Indian culture also do you think that came in behind these philosophical?
I completely subscribe to that because a couple of weeks ago, one of my colleagues came to me and pitched for a loan. We were talking about loans, right?
Yeah.
So he pitched for a loan and it is for his sister's wedding. And you know where the conversation went? The loan got approved because there is a structure, there's a policy, there is a limit and so on. But we got into talking about, hey, are you using the money for the wedding or for the marriage? Wedding is what happens then.
That one day celebration.
Marriage is what happens after
Long
that.
term. Yeah.
So that is the mindset, right? So It's not for others, it's not for show, it is not for going one up on the neighbors, it's not for being on par with societal expectations.
For social media?
Yes, it's not for social media at all. It is for doing the bare minimum, the
Yes.
check boxes,
Correct.
and then planning for, there is surely going to be tough times ahead.
Absolutely.
So planning for those tough times.
The future.
Yes.
Both near and
So
distant.
because let me also go back. I said we never took a loan, but in the same breath, I'll also proudly say, I'll touch wood when I say that, in 30 years, we have never skipped salary. Not a day.
Not even during
Not a day.
not
even
COVID.
during COVID. Not even during times when our customers didn't pay us on time. Because COVID, we weren't receiving as much as we needed. But that's the balance I'm talking about.
Is that what makes like close to 30,000 people across the country now? Is that what makes it one big family now?
One big family, yes. But little warning here. I think the Netflix CEO put it across very well. I forget the name of the book. Rules something is the name of the book. And he says, if family thing, don't go too far in it. It's not a family. Instead, it is a team, a sports team
Right.
with a coach.
Right.
Not head of the family. It's a sports team with a coach. And the coach has to take the tough call sometimes
Right.
about resting somebody, firing somebody, changing the role of somebody. In a family, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
In a family, whatever you are family,
Yes.
right? Fast and the Furious. Yeah. But that's not the case. You can't take it too far.
True.
Yeah.
True. You know, you mentioned Zoho Schools as well. I definitely want to come to that. But before that, I want to ask you about another extremely path-breaking thing that you did, which a lot of people might call bonkers crazy.
Before you get to the question, I
Yes.
don't know what you're going to ask me, but I need to clarify something. Clarify two things.
Okay.
It's not about me.
Mhm.
I am a showpiece, just the person they drag in whenever somebody has to talk about Zoho.
Mhm.
Zoho is what you see around.
Oh, absolutely.
20,000 people, 1 million customers, that is Zoho. Everybody has to do their work. There are designers who design, marketers who write and sell and campaign, developers who code, and yeah, mouth just keeps talking. Yeah, I listen to the stories and try to narrate them my way. So that's me. Yeah, and the second thing, I don't know about the others, but at least for me and for Zoho, we don't come together on a Monday morning and start thinking,
Let's change the world.
what path-breaking thing do we do today? No, that never happens.
Yeah.
Many of the path-breaking things we have done till now
With
is because
realizing it.
not even realizing is one. The other is the other options weren't available to us because we were in India, because we had a rural mindset, because some of the because we weren't paying top bracket. Our salary structure, it is not the highest salary structure that could probably come to a person with your skill set. It is beyond salary that's what attracts an employee to this company and keeps them together. Yeah? If it is purely about salary, the money, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Right? So path breaking probably happens, but it's not intended. Yeah. And for viewers, I'll strongly tell you, it worked for us. It is working for us. Your mileage may vary. You probably should not ape this immediately saying, hey, this is a success formula. Let's try that too.
True.
Yeah.
This
Disclaimer.
This quite literally shows the humbleness of the man as well. But the question I was about to ask you was actually not about Zoho. It was about your personal life and your personal family.
Okay.
So it did come to you itself.
Go ahead.
That is, you decided to homeschool your son.
Okay.
I want to ask you, at what point of time did this decision come to your head? What was the seed of the cause? And what about the Indian education system did you see which made you realize, no, I am not 100% with it. I want to homeschool somebody as close to my son itself.
Okay. Only son and only child, only son. And when I was working with him, helping him with his exams as he was growing older, grade 5, grade 6, 7, 8, I started seeing two things at the same time.
Mhm.
One, the world was changing,
Right.
rapid pace, new technology, new concepts, um, a slow understanding among people themselves, including myself. My IIT experience helped that academic excellence is just one of so many paths
Hmm.
for professional excellence. It's not the only path. In fact, go beyond professional excellence. Talk about life satisfaction.
True.
To live a happy, contented life, to be meaningfully productive, and to contribute something. For having been on this earth, I want to leave a positive impact. My footprint, like the carbon footprint, have a positive value footprint on the society around you. Education, formal education, is not the only way. I started realizing that. And I also started seeing this boy losing the urge
Hmm.
to learn new things. It just like every other kid, right? Um, Sometimes I wonder if formal school destroys the curiosity of every child. A child is already born an artist, born an orator, born a writer, born a scientist. But what does schooling do to them? I saw the withering because it was a rat race. I always tell my classmates, my friends, and my students at Zoho Schools how to find passion, they ask me. And I ask them, what do you do on a lazy Sunday afternoon when it's raining outside?
Right.
What do you do when there is nobody around and there is no internet to scroll through? What do you do when you don't need to do something for marks, for completing a project, for finishing a grade or passing a year? What do you go back to? That is the passion spiral. Some people doodle, some people sing, some people mold clay, whatever. But that identification of the passion, my son stopped reading, accumulating knowledge the day after the exams.
Right.
Right? So that rot I was able to identify very early, and I had a very accommodative and cooperative wife. She works here too. She heads Zoho.
Love it.
Radha Vembu is her name. She's the younger sister of Sridhar Vembu.
Amazing.
And we had a conversation, and we also sat our son together, and we discussed this, and we actually decided to take a break year rather than come out of the system. But that break year converted into a lifelong pursuit. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody who wants to have a balanced life, with your own me time and all that, because when you homeschool your child all your time, you will be obsessed about, am I doing the right thing? Is this, what if after a few years, and so on. Thankfully, everything clicked. It is still an open experiment. He's 26 years old now.
And he's working at
He is working at Zoho. He was a Zoho Schools product himself.
Yeah.
So things clicked, I would say. But it is surely something all parents should run the mental experiment on.
Absolutely.
A thought experiment. What if? Because it's so easy to resign yourself to parental duties and outsource training and teaching to some gurus, some faculty outside.
So true.
Yeah. They are being paid, right? If you're being paid for something, you're only being professional about it. You're not passionate about it.
Yes.
That's the way I see it.
You know, in a very short time, I want to give a personal example of mine as well. My nephew, he is 13 now. Whenever I go back to Calcutta, so I spend a lot of time with him. He was in class 7 at that point of time, and we were just going through his books, and he was reading, and he was not pausing at the commas and not taking a little much longer of a pause at the full stops. And I said, wait, why are you reading like this? And he said, no, teacher says to read like this only. And then I realized that they're being taught, like, it's almost like mass teaching. Mass teaching is being done in the schools, and it's a very good convent school in Calcutta. And that's when me and the sister sat down, and then we kind of realized this, that as much of the schooling happening at the school is important, the parents need to put in that much of a little time at home as well. Because as you said, that is a professional undertaking by the schools and the principal and everyone.
Yeah.
But a fair amount of time also needs to be given to the kid almost personally. Was this one of the seedings of the Zoho Schools of Learning when it was getting founded?
Zoho Schools was founded primarily because Zoho wanted great talent and the conventional pathways of talent were not available to us for recruitment. We weren't a big brand name at that time. We wanted top-notch software engineers. They weren't even acknowledging Zoho as a software company at that time. And the one...
Which time are we talking?
This is 2003, 2004.
Right.
We were just AdventNet becoming Zoho Corp. And at that time, those who came to us, the many hundreds who came to us, were schooled in the conventional system in colleges around the countryside. Teaching mechanical engineering is different from teaching software engineering.
So true.
Yeah. Software is done the best, learning software is done best by doing software. That wasn't in the mindset of the professors and the students in most colleges. Even today, even today, it is changing. I am seeing it change around in a few colleges, but in the majority, prepare, memorize, vomit, write theoretical answers to theoretical questions and call yourself a BTech in computer science. That's how it was. And I also differentiate between writing programs and creating software. Creating software is all about the user who is going to consume that software. It's not about solving an algorithmic problem. And very often, this aspect was lost in most of these colleges, which is why at Zoho Schools, the faculty who teach here are not drawn from colleges, from academic institutions. They don't have PhDs in computer science.
Right.
Instead, each of them is 10, 15, 20 years of experience from Zoho.
Amazing.
They either part-time, which is 50% of their time they work and other 50% they help the next generation hone their skills. Or they move out of active work and dedicate themselves completely to this initiative and train. But they are right inside Zoho's buzzing ecosystem. So at any moment, if they want to teach something, they teach what was happening in Zoho yesterday, couple of days ago.
Incredible.
Yesterday, for example, we finished a global business summit.
Yeah, we were seeing
you were seeing that. Tomorrow in my class, I am going to talk about it.
Amazing.
So this kind of context short circuiting unfortunately is not available in typical colleges.
Right.
Which is why we call Zoho Schools contextual, relevant and experiential.
If you can tell us, I mean, not at all like, okay, these are the courses, this is what you can do, and this is how to take admission. But if in short, you can tell us a little about the culture of Zoho Schools of Learning and what, because I know it is different. The audience already knows it's different, hearing little about it.
Okay.
But how exactly is it completely different from the other, say, engineering colleges that are out there?
Okay, I'll spend a couple of minutes giving you some data points.
Absolutely.
Born in 2005, 20th year just went past. It's a 2-year course. We are considering making it 3 years now. So 1 year you spend in a classroom environment. The second year you become an intern embedded in a team somewhere and you get your finishing touches. 2 years later, you stand the chance to become a full-blown employee.
Lovely.
1 more year later, you become an employee. That's how it is. We don't charge fees. We take effort to get those underprivileged children, people who probably can't afford higher education, higher technical education primarily. It's open to all, but we are biased towards those rural kids with that spark in their heart and with the dream in their mind. We want to catch those children. And we have been successfully doing it. There's an amazing outreach team which reaches the boondocks out there and gets them every year. 20,000 people apply every year. About 200 get selected. That's the selection ratio. We pay them a stipend of 10,000 rupees every month.
Each student gets
Each student gets that.
Lovely.
There are 3 schools, a school of design, a school of tech and a school of business. There are in 4 locations across Tamil Nadu. You can visit our website to find out more. Interestingly, we don't mark attendance.
Wow.
Yes, probably this is the only academic institution that doesn't do that. Because we think a teacher cannot impose attendance on a student who probably already knows the subject or who probably cannot understand sitting in the class anyway. So there are other ways to learn the same thing, and we allow the child to do research work in the laboratory, collaborative work with others, and so on. So no imposed attendance and no exams either. We don't have semester exams, monthly tests, closed book tests. Do not copy. Finish within this time. I point out all this because these are the classic takeaways from the conventional educational system,
Yeah.
but that never has an equal mirror image in the work
In the
environment.
workaday world.
Yeah.
I agree.
In at work,
Yeah.
nobody tells me, I want you to come up with a creative one-liner, take 10 minutes. Nobody says that.
I mean, there are deadlines.
There are deadlines, but it's never 10 minutes.
True.
Yeah, never 45 minutes.
True.
They take time. It's always overnight. Which exam on the EOD. Which exam is overnight? And never refer to the internet. Can you do that at real work? And one more thing we forget is, in a conventional classroom, we force the child into a same age group.
True.
They are typically 17 to 18
Very true.
in college. When you enter the workforce,
Absolutely.
you work with old people, you work with very young people, work with rural, urban, people speaking another language.
Completely.
So this MAG, just like MAD, this mixed age group is very important. So we try to bring these changes into the educational system, at least in what we do at Zoho Schools. Who are we looking for? You don't need to be already skilled in the domains I told you about, like marketing or programming or design. We are looking for people who think off the beaten track, who have agency, who are not just rule book followers and first benchers. This is not for first benchers.
Nice.
Yes, this is for the middle benchers who are rebellious, primarily because they don't have a purpose that will fire them. That ikigai is not set yet. We look for those people. And we also look for people who will learn on the go, for whom learning is not a destination, it is a journey. Every day, can you pick something up? Can you learn? That is what we are looking for. So if you fit that, you can apply. You can write to me or to any of our website contact details.
Quickly, I want to ask you this one question as well, because when I put out on my socials that I'll be doing a podcast with you and told them a little about what Zoho Schools of Learning is all about, and many knew already, one of the very recurring questions that I got both on my LinkedIn and Instagram was that, please ask Raj sir, how can we apply and what would be the eligibility criteria to get admitted?
Okay. If you're watching this podcast, probably this is not for you. Because we want to reach people. I'm sure in your travels around the country, around the world, you have seen those kids for whom even today a touch screen is a special experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So, but that doesn't mean they don't know how to do solid maths.
Very true.
That doesn't mean they don't know logical thinking or creative visualization.
Absolutely.
So we want to provide opportunity to such children. That's our primary target audience. On the other hand, we don't want to say no to you. So if you're watching this podcast, you're probably going to launch this in a month. February, this will be out?
Yes.
Probably, February 2026. So June 2026 is when we will be opening our next batch, which means in the next couple of months, you need to somehow prove to us, either the conventional way or the unconventional way, that you are worthy of a second look. How do you prove to us? Conventional way, we have an entrance test.
Right.
Somewhere in April at our campus, and probably in some campuses around the country, we will be conducting mass tests. Visit our website www.zohoschools.com and you can submit your application. You have to be within 17 to 20 years of age. What is the unconventional way? That's my favorite. The unconventional way is, I'll talk your language here, the difference between a photo and a video.
Okay.
or a photo and a podcast. Because you can lie in a photo. You can do post-processing, editing, removing of blurs and all that,
Yeah.
blemishes and all. But in a video, you can't really lie.
Nowadays, people do that also.
Nowadays, but it's much harder.
True.
But even today, I'll give you what I mean by you can't lie. Assume you start a podcast and you post it in YouTube probably. Can you change the posting date
Once
after
it's
posting?
posted?
Huh?
Oh, I don't
You
think
can't.
so. Yeah.
Nobody can,
Yeah.
even in the age of AI.
Yeah.
So a kid comes to me and tells me, I have been interested in video editing.
Right.
I am so interested in it, I posted reels and one-liners, 1-minute videos and so on. I even posted a video about how to edit a video. Okay. And I go to his channel. I see that this channel has been operational for 3 years.
Right.
And I see the posting frequency. Almost every week, he has done something or the other. I also see one more thing. The first videos are raw,
Right.
unprofessional,
It's proper-
amateurish. But week after week after week,
Getting better.
there is this getting better. I also notice he has 175 followers. And that's a plus for me. Because if he has, like you have what, 127,000 followers?
No, sir.
I saw a number like that. So if you have that many followers, you have extrinsic motivation to do it.
True.
But if you have 125 followers,
Very true.
you are doing it because you like it.
It's for the passion.
It's for the passion. It's not for the audience.
Right.
And so full credit to this boy. We took him into the School of Design.
Lovely.
He is now a video editor inside Zoho.
Amazing.
This is the real story. His name is Muthu Vikram. He works in my team.
Wonderful.
So this kid came to me with a YouTube channel. That was his application form. So that's the unconventional way I talk to you about. If you're a programmer, show me your hacker rank. Show me your Stack Overflow. If you're a writer, you claim to be a writer, show me your blog. Show me your short content, your X connection. I'll see how you have been writing. This is what I mean by you cannot lie. Because this is a movie.
True.
With a start to an end. And I see the climax. It's not a photo. Yeah.
True. So, I didn't even think I'm going to ask you this question, but while you were giving this answer, it popped into my head, which is when you looked at the camera and said, if you are watching this podcast, maybe Zoho Schools of Learning is not for you. What I could decipher from it is that for students and kids and youngsters who are already coming from a place of privilege, either massive privilege or less privilege, Zoho Schools of Learning is more for the opposite side of the students.
Right.
I completely vouch for that. A controversial reaction to that could be, but why? Take admission on the basis of skills.
Right.
Why just on the basis of whether they have privilege or whether they don't have privilege?
I
As
understand.
said,
No, probably I was a little too harsh when I said that.
So I completely
there's a
agree to the-
beautiful,
Yeah.
I think it was Guru Gobind Singh, I'm not sure, in the story of the Sikh movement, there is this moment where he identifies a volunteer. There's this huge gathering and he says, I want a volunteer. Nobody puts up their hand. He says, I want for a very special, challenging role, I want a volunteer. Nobody puts up their hand in the whole gathering. Then one guy raises his hand. He takes this guy into a tent and then comes out of the tent with a sword soaked in blood. The guy is not coming along. And then one more volunteer he asks. Nobody is ready because there is the sword dripping blood. And then second guy, after a very long time, third guy, 5 people come like that. And then after everything is over, he brings those 5 people. He has been killing goats, not killing these people.
Yeah.
And he brings those 5 people and says, I think he names them Panch Pyare, my favorite 5. Yeah. These 5 will be my lieutenants. They will take the movement forward after me. They are my true disciples. That's the way he positions it. I quote this story because you need to be ready to take that leap of faith.
Right.
Yeah. I'm ready to volunteer, but first tell me for what. Sorry.
Not going to work.
No,
Yeah.
don't work. So if you are watching this video, you probably already are applying for a position in a college abroad. You're probably already wondering to take a break year. And this probably looks like, hey, break year, let's do it at Zoho. Zoho is a nice brand name. I've been hearing about Arattai and so on. Let's do a 1-year sabbatical at Zoho. So this is not a fling. No.
Love it.
Okay. This is a commitment. And we are looking for people who are ready for that commitment.
Right.
It's a, I mean, it's a, you can't, you, kudna hai uske andar. It is not just put a little finger and test the water.
it, yeah.
No, no, no. You'll have to dive in. Yeah. So we are looking for such people. So if you have that inside you, if you realize that college isn't the only way for you to succeed and fulfill your dreams of becoming a high-tech professional, please come. Yeah.
Amazing, sir. Raj, tell us a little about the Marupadi project. I want to ask you that.
Okay, Marupadi is a Tamil word, basically means once again, aur ek baar, that's the word. And Marupadi also happens to split into Maru and Padi, which means next step.
Lovely.
So next step became once again, all this converged into a good name for this system. It is the returnship program from Zoho. Women, for whatever reason in our society, are kind of a little behind in terms of pursuing the career of their dreams.
Right.
Because there are, we call them 3 wickets. 3 wickets fall in a woman's life that don't typically fall in a man's life. They get married, their husband gets a transfer. Okay. And this thing has to collapse because my husband moved. You get child.
Right.
When you get a child, everything is hijacked. And probably that's the biggest wicket. Very few people come back after that. But there is great talent. After all, 50% of India is women.
Absolutely.
Yes. And there is a certain way of thinking, the yin-yang they call it. You think differently. Multi-processing, parallel processing comes naturally to you.
Absolutely.
You're able to handle emotional balances much better. So we would like to tap into that beautiful talent pool and also be play a small role in uplifting womenhood. We wanted to help in that lean-in movement. So we started it 3 years ago, and about 80 women, many of them spouses of our own employees,
Lovely.
have gone through this boot camp program. It's a 6-month program where we train them in technology, in quality testing, in creative writing, and so on, and they become employees in our company. It's not a job assured program, but we call it a boot camp or a finishing touch. We apply polish, prepare you for interviewing at Zoho, and provide you interviewing opportunities. So that's been running for 3 years now. It also comes with a stipend, and we're happy about it.
Amazing to hear.
It's a fulfilling thing. Yeah.
That's lovely to hear. You know, I want to ask you, because you mentioned Arattai a couple of answers back. Zoho, 30 years now, 2026, started in 1996. AI is cool now. Since the last half a decade or so across the world, Zoho has been doing work when it comes to artificial intelligence since a long, long time, long before AI became cool. So at what point of time did you all realize that this is something that is going to quite literally shake up the world, and then started the projects that you all also started with AI?
AI and the aspects, the qualities of the AI wave do not sync with Zoho as a company, because Zoho is slow and steady. AI though, it's slam bang right now. Tomorrow somebody else is the crown. The third day somebody else has the crown, and so on. So we prefer to be a couple of steps behind, understand that consumerish AI, where I upload a picture and say, convert this into a video of me falling from the World Trade Center, that kind of thing. That's consumerish.
Yeah.
We're not even in that game.
Correct.
Versus business or organizational AI,
Right.
where customer data is sacrosanct. allowing data to cross the border and go to a third party LLM where it may hallucinate and show you something that doesn't even belong to you, that it got trained by some other company's data and so on, is much more, should be handled much more carefully. We agree and acknowledge that this is something that's not a fad, it's here to stay.
Right.
But are companies around the world using it right? Are they implementing it right? Should we ape them? Should we follow the same trend? Or should we think a little and come up with our own little ways of demonstrating AI capabilities in our products? That is what we are going through right now. Also, in terms of cost, there is this group of companies that depend on AI to fleece their customers, right? They add an AI version to their product and say, now pay me more.
So true.
Now it is AI power. Yes. On the other hand, we instead want to see, because we are AI powering it, can we lower the cost on you?
Right.
Can we make it easier, simpler, and also cheaper? So that's been our approach. Zoho projects, for example. The AI we have brought in is about summarizing, is about translating, because there's a global user group that can be using the same Zoho projects. It's also about predicting, analyzing the health of a project that's going on, and in your executive dashboard showing what may happen using predictive runs of future scenarios. So these are the ways that we are bringing AI in. So AI is like salt. Without salt, you're not going to be able to eat the food. Too much salt is in fact harmful for your health.
And also destroys your taste.
Yes, destroys the taste. So that tweaking. Also, the best way to bring these tools, bring these features into your product is you have to consume your own dog food.
Right.
You'll have to be that first, live that experience first. Zoho projects, once again, the reason it's such a successful, it's been around 20 years now, such a successful toolkit is it's adapted itself to the changing needs, from waterfall to agile to hybrid to complete customization. We call it Project Infinity now. Also, the ability of it to internalize the culture of the team. Is it a talkative team? Then all decisions will get done in the feed. Is it a hierarchically bound, structured team? Then rights and access and control. Yeah? So this customization, when a product doesn't need to have AI in it for it to act smart. Acting smart has been 30 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart is about predicting what you might want next. It doesn't need an LLM for it. It's all about the data was already there. Where were you clicking every time you clicked this? Did you click that or not? It's not AI.
Exactly.
It is data. That data was already there with us. What have you been doing with that data? Yeah. This data science is just a nice new romantic name for statistics. Statistics is the big daddy of mathematics.
Absolutely.
It was around. It was around. What were you doing with those? So, my request to viewers here, please go ahead, embrace AI, but don't pay more for it. Ideally, you should be paying less because AI is raising the bar for everybody. It's like the incoming tide floating all the boats. I am not doing anything. I am at the harbor, anchored. The tide is coming in. My boat is going up. And I am charging more for that? No.
Not fair.
Yeah, not fair.
Raj, I want to ask you, along with a lot of podcasts that I host with a lot of industry leaders like you, there are lots of AI conferences and tech summits that I get the opportunity to host. So a lot of industry speakers there as well, industry leaders there, panel discussions that happen. And amongst the crowd, there is always a huge number of people from the developer community, youngsters, young developers who are studying it, who are just in their first jobs or not. And one of the very common questions that we get is, so what about the future? Are we going to lose our jobs? is somebody who is teaching or somebody who is learning about developing now, is our reading and learning those languages actually going to be that important in the soon future? Is Python even going to be that important in the near future? Do you get questions like these from your young team members? What do you answer?
I'll give you the answers I have been giving.
Okay.
And they have evolved too. Before we get to those answers, there is another aspect, particularly for the viewers here. Also have a kind ear leaned towards sustainability. Global warming, AI will very soon overtake our petrol car emission problem. What AI is doing at the data centers is a bigger problem very soon than the ozone hole and carbon dioxide pollution and so on. Are we thinking about it? I don't think there's an easy answer to that. Many scientists are breaking their head out there. I read somewhere that whenever you say thank you to your LLM,
Oh, exactly.
yeah, so what are we going to do? Have that thing also in mind. Because once again, I come back to sustainability, because think long term. Think about what you will leave behind after the party is over, because somebody has to clean the plates. Yeah, it's costly. Coming to the answers that I have been giving, one answer I used to often give is, that's now a cliche. AI is not going to take your job. A person who knows how to use that's the old one. Okay. And then along the way, I also realized that probably all the programming languages are passe, not relevant anymore. English is the next programming language, they started saying. But today, my, you can say, my limited wisdom on this, after listening to a lot of people, reading a lot of books, seeing a lot of people work around me, I'm actually bullish and confident about the life I'm living, the times I'm living in. Because there is one quality of the human animal that will never change.
Which is?
Whatever changes from Stone Age times till today, this one quality has never changed. And that is the heights of laziness. Okay? Oh, that heights of laziness, we will keep exploring higher heights. Okay? Once upon a time, when Stone Age man went on a hunt and came back, he thought, let me rest in the night at least.
Right.
I don't want to participate in anything. When the farmer went to the fields and came back, when he removed the shoes and lay back, he wanted that laziness to wash over him.
Well-deserved rest.
Well-deserved rest. And then over time, we didn't bother about navigating by stars because we had a map, didn't bother asking directions because we had Google, didn't bother remembering 17 into 12 because we had a calculator, we didn't bother developing our handwriting because we had a typewriter. All those were, we didn't bother getting up from the couch because there was a remote control. But did you notice something? We didn't stop with the remote control, because there were people who were so lazy to tap the right button on the remote control. And so Google and Amazon brought another button, even Apple, another button that you could press hard, hold, and say, hey Alexa, or hey Siri. These are all the upward spiral of laziness. So my answer, my latest answer to this question, what should people do? Should we be afraid of losing our jobs? Don't be afraid, because there are always people out there wanting to explore higher levels of laziness. As long as you are ready to put in mehnat, that sweat, if you're ready to put in effort, there is somebody out there ready to pay you. It could be, the domain will be different. It could be once upon a time you had to ride a horse, now you have to drive a car. But in both cases, there was a passenger waiting. Right? So you don't need to be afraid at all, except of falling into the trap of this lazy spiral. If you don't want to put in work and want to enjoy benefits, you are in trouble, my friend. That's what I would say.
And that's a very...
I'm sure you would see this in your own. So much has changed
Absolutely.
technologically, about backgrounds, about video. Come on, one photo of you and I can make you speak anything.
Oh, yeah.
How are you surviving? Because there are people out there who are lazy, who want to just listen, who don't want to. I know I can create it, but I don't want to create it. I don't feel like creating it. I am at a lower level of laziness now. Yeah, the depths of laziness. So that gives me a lot of confidence, because somehow in me and in the people I work with, I see a desire to work, a desire to work hard. And as long as that desire, yeah, there was this, it's a Nazi reminder from the concentration camp, Dachau, I think. The entrance to the concentration camp will have a metal gate that says Arbeit macht frei, which means work sets you free. And it was basically a very horrifying thing. They wanted all the prisoners to work for free. And they said work for freedom.
So if you work, we'll let you go.
Yes, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I am taking a message from there. Right. Work will let you free. If you are ready to swing it, if you are ready to put in the 60 minutes of effort every hour, nothing can take that credit away from you. Nothing, I assure you.
You know, you mentioned the laziness bit. I want to ask you this one question, because after doing a lot of research as well, as a matter of fact, the data I got while I was doing these podcasts with a lot of these industry leaders who work in India, who work overseas, I got to know that the 10-minute delivery app system became a success only in India.
Yeah.
It's not a success in any other country, especially in the Western world. What's your take on this?
Instant gratification.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
So the quest for instant gratification, last minute fixes. I think it is a cultural blemish, and we need to work against it. And there is this movement in even cooking. Yeah. Somewhere I read a marketer put the S in fat food,
okay,
and made it fast food. Okay, it is fat food.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. So if we can slow down in every aspect, even I walk to work, for example. There are people who drive, there are people who cycle. I walk to work. That conscious effort to walk gives you the 20% free time, where you are away from devices, where you have to focus 50% on the road and 50% on your dreams. Over and over, I see we want to fill our day with activities and reduce time for rumination. If you walk around the campus, you said you did.
Yes.
You would have noticed that distinctly there are two types of constructions. One is the physical construction of buildings and floor layouts and cubicles and conference rooms where work is done. We call it collaborative spaces. And then this campus was supposed to house about 27,000 people, 30,000 people. We stopped at 18. We are not constructing anymore. The rest of it will be ponds, duck ponds, hills, outdoor gaming spaces, gyms outdoor. So we call them contemplation spaces. So there is a distinction between collaboration, where you want to be around people, and contemplation, where you don't want to be around people. Workspaces need to be optimized for both. And I think life should be too.
Absolutely.
We cannot be instantly gratified for everything.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, there are special pleasures to be had in waiting for a pleasure. That intazar karna, waiting for it. I'm sure as a kid, you have waited for the mark to come, results to come, because dad would have promised, I'll buy you a kite. Haven't we done that?
Yes, yes.
Is it possible today with today's children? It's possible, but even parents are not ready to put in the mental and physical effort needed to make it possible. Because they are busy with their scrolling, they give their child a iPad,
Another device.
another device.
So true. I agree with
Yes.
this so much.
So this instant gratification thing should go away, because that is spilling over to life, to all kinds of demands, to work itself. Why do 9 startups out of 10 fail? Probably because these startups don't plan a long enough runway. They want vertical takeoff. Not every aeroplane is capable of vertical takeoff. You need to give it time to launch.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just want to mention one thing, that if your me time is just this, or I'll show it better,
Correct.
is just this, is it
Yeah.
even me time?
Right.
Is it doing anything for the me?
Correct. Correct.
I'll talk about it, because one of the reasons why I love the campus so much is because it's so unlike corporate campuses.
Right.
And we will talk about it.
May I know how old you are?
33, sir.
33. I am 55. So, dear friend, if you are 20 or less than 20, don't get it wrong. Okay, we are not making a commentary about you scrolling. In fact, I will try to share that picture with you, and you can put it up somewhere here in your video. Yeah. There is a photograph I saw of a train, the inside of a train. And it is a silent commentary, no text written. It's just the photograph. Observe and you will know what the message of the photo is. And that photo is from 60, 70 years ago. No phones, no social media. And what was everybody doing? They were all glued to their papers. So, we had our poison. He has his poison. You have your poison. The only thing is, we are all talking about acknowledging that this is poison.
Right.
As long as you acknowledge it as poison, we trust you enough to differentiate between too much poison, too little poison, different kinds of poison, and so on. The problem is when you don't even know it is poison. And algorithms today are far better than algorithms of newspapers, algorithms of olden times. They are too smart. There was a beautiful documentary in Netflix called The Social Dilemma. Watch that. Learn from that is what I would say. I mean, I'm not dooming all the Gen Z and the millennials to it. I completely understand that each of us have had our own vices. Yeah, but you don't need to fall in the same pit we fell in, right? Learn the lesson.
Raj, you mentioned somebody from the marketing team put the S in fat food and turned it into fast foods.
Yeah.
I want to quote you from one of the videos where you featured, where you said marketing was not even an afterthought at Zoho for many, many years.
Yeah.
And then it became an afterthought. What was because we are at a day and age where there's a Hindi phrase that says, "Jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai." Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the cause of this what was the cause of this thought at Zoho, that marketing was a complete afterthought for years?
I don't know. It could even be overly humble. Today, when we look back, there is this distinction between north of India and south of India itself. Sometimes they say South India doesn't know, or is afraid of even saying what it knows. North India will say it knows, and then before you test, it will find out. It will find out and get away, right? But that's the cultural thing, probably a little too overly humble. It could have come from there. But we also believe that if you build something truly amazing, the world will beat a path to your door. Just go engineering heavy. Even today, not so once upon a time, even today, our research budget is much higher than our marketing budget.
Amazing.
Because we realize that the marketing world out there is too noisy, too noisy. Instead, we want to tell stories. We don't call ourselves marketers, we call ourselves evangelists. If you can tell a good story, Seth Godin gives this beautiful marketing mantra in a book called This is Marketing. He lays it out like this. He says, have a story to tell, first of all. Then identify the subset of people. Don't tell the story to everybody. Not everybody will want to hear it. There is a little group of people who will really resonate with your story. Identify them. Tell them your story, but not the whole of it. Hook them. make them fall for it so that they will contribute to the continuation of the story. Don't tell them the whole story. Build it with them. That's what happened in the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a collection of stories told by a group of people. So build it with them and make it so good that after you are done, they tell the story to others. Right? This was his mantra. There is no marketing here. There is storytelling, there is persuasion and evangelism. That we do. But marketing, uh, I think it was a subconscious DNA level thing. We do not subscribe to the typical marketing that most companies do.
You said build quality, and the world will eventually
Yes.
talk about it. So let's talk about some of the things that have been built pretty recently. Shed a little light on the projects Zia and Arattai.
Okay. Arattai is the Tamil word for gupshup,
Oh, nice.
chit chat. That's where it comes
Adda.
from. Adda.
Hmm.
That's where it comes from. And we named it Arattai because in Zoho, the products that Zoho makes for companies, organizational productivity, they follow the typical Zoho CRM, Zoho Mail, Zoho Docs, Zoho Workplace, Zoho Projects, and so on. One liners, clear. We don't want to call it Thursday.com, right? Because you would wonder what is Thursday? Why Thursday? But here it is Zoho Projects and right out in the open. The other set of products that we are coming up with, only one you have mentioned called Arattai, is the other is called Ula. It's a browser. One more is coming called Surya. I'll not tell you what it is. So these products, they are for the end user, the consumer out there, the millions, the billions out there. We had a great engine in Click, Zoho Click. It's a chat engine. And we realized, particularly during the time of COVID, with Zoom, data centers in China, WhatsApp being acquired by Facebook, and so on, this return to sovereignty, data sovereignty, and this make in India, technology made in India, anti protection against tariffs. So all these started falling in place, and we realized we had a duty towards the nation beyond just duty towards our customers and employees and to our society, to the nation, because it was a national threat. So we said we will build one thing using the same engine, but for end-to-end end-user customers. That's how Arattai was born. Arattai is, today people think it is like WhatsApp, messaging system with video calls and a little storage for starred messages and so on. But it is much more. The plan is bigger, and you will notice that we will make this one central clearing house of all your needs. It could be hiring a ride, it could be 1 minute transaction, getting groceries, it could be sending money, receiving money to somebody else, it could be protecting your own private passwords. All of this is coming. But we have the framework in place, and what we need is the next hockey stick growth of numbers using it, because the network effect is very important in tools like these. It's not a one-person tool. Yeah.
Raj, something happened in 2025, which was a great thing actually. India became the fourth largest, if I'm not wrong, fourth largest startup ecosystem across the globe. Either fourth largest or third largest. Economy, it became fourth largest, fourth strongest. Startup ecosystem, fourth largest or third largest. A few weeks into that, this was being discussed on stage by a politician who said that, yes, fourth largest startup ecosystem, but what are the startups that are being created? There's protein chips, and there's different kinds of makeup and different kinds of this and that. You're talking about employment that is being generated, but 50%, 60% of that is the riders who are giving your 10-minute delivery app. They are, some of them are very educated as well, but this is what it has come down to. Where are the LLMs that are being constructed? Where are the own AI models that are being constructed? So this was the conversation that was happening.
The deep tech.
Where is the deep tech? So where do you fall into this, in this debate, in this argument?
So if you remember in our Asian Games history, we didn't win medals, too many medals. And if you go to the Olympics, it was a very, very long drought.
Yeah.
After hockey in 1970s, nothing happened. And then we started winning medals, but they were in probably kabaddi
Yeah.
or probably in archery or 60 kilograms wrestling and so on. The really popular sports like football or athletics,
Swimming.
we were swimming. Where were we?
Yeah.
Was the question. And if I were to relate to those sports people, I would say, credit us that we are at least there.
Yeah. At least something.
Our national anthem is being heard
Yeah.
40 years later. So it is about the spirit of entrepreneurship or spirit of sportsmanship, spirit to train hard, go through hardships, have zero support from the government, but still, how many stories have we seen? Biopics made of badminton champions, early morning, getting up, running, not getting a flight ticket.
True. Agreed.
Prajnananda didn't have money for purchasing his flight ticket. That chess genius from Tamil Nadu. So let's stop bickering about it. Let's stop being too cynical about it. Aiming big is important, but celebrating small wins are also important.
Right.
So I respect the person who said it. I know who that is. Probably he's being quoted out of context in the big picture that and I understand he is impatient. He wants India to do well there too. But it shouldn't be translated as he is not acknowledging the spirit. Now we at least have the spirit, and we will ourselves learn that these are low hanging fruit. There is no moat at all. If I make biscuits and sell it as a startup, another person is going to come make a biscuit. But if I make a biscuit making machine that I can customize and throw some AI into it, because that's the trend of the time, then IP can be brought. And then my moat will happen. And I can become the crowbar seller in the gold rush. You will make a lot of money, whether others make money or not. So you can become the empowerer and motivator for so many more.
Raj, I want to ask you one more question on something that became very viral in 2025. Not just viral on social media, on television channels. Major topic of discussion was the 70-hour work week and the 100-hour work week topic.
Okay.
Your take on it?
Yeah. So before we started this talk today, you were mentioning that on your drive into the campus, it was around 9:30.
Yeah.
And oddly, strangely, it wasn't too crowded. The roads in.
The roads in. I didn't see car traffic there.
Yes,
Yeah.
you said. Most of the cars that come here come to this campus.
I thought
Because,
so. Yeah.
this is outside the city, and this is probably one of two places which gets a lot of car traffic. You know why?
Tell me, sir.
We don't have a start time of the day.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no set time.
Of course not.
Wow.
We are a software company.
Yeah.
We don't have a start time. Also, we are a product company. If we were a projects company, we would have to be available when that company wakes up somewhere else in America.
True.
There will be cases where developers will work night shift, be available on call. Remember slave mode I told you? Yeah. So it was a conscious decision to stay away from that easy money on the table, because we were looking for employee satisfaction and happiness long term. So no in time, no out time, and no number of hours clocked time.
That's also not necessity.
No.
Wow.
We don't believe in that. Of course, we want to be profitable too. Of course, we want to do well as a business too. We're not running a charity here. But we know, of course, everybody out there knows that clocking how long a person is inside office or sits in a chair is perhaps a pathetic way of clocking their productivity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right? In fact, go even further. Checking how many lines of code they have written is not productivity measures. Right? I think, I forget the name of the author. The book is called Measure What Matters. Dare is his name is. He is the consultant to Google also. And he talks about measuring what matters. He starts by saying all the things that are easy to measure are not worth measuring. All the things that are worth measuring are hard to measure. Right? So, can you measure my internal commitment level to this podcast just by listening to me this past 1 hour, 2 hours?
That's not measurable.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
But that's something I can feel. That's something I can see.
Correct. So, you should hence focus on the things that matter.
Right.
Right? So, this 70-hour work week, again, quoted out of context. That man, luminary, yeah, what he did to this country, what he did to the ecosystem, luminary. And he says basically, we'll have to snap out of this loop. Somebody has to do something extraordinary. Right? You are a cricket commentator. So, if you go back to the '83 World Cup, that guy did something extraordinary.
We talk about Kapil Dev?
Kapil.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. And that snapped, and India became a country to reckon with in cricket. Yeah. So, somebody please do that is what he is saying. And we misinterpreted it as all of you please work 70 hours. Yeah. That's at one level. The second thing is, I think it was Shakespeare who said that if you love what you do, you never have to work another day in your life.
So true. I agree.
Come on. Do you think this is work?
I
what you are doing?
Yeah.
Huh? Traveling, talking to people, meeting. Who did you say you met the other day? Shark Tank.
Oh yeah, Aman Gupta.
Oh,
yeah.
And you call it work?
No.
You being paid for it? Come on.
To talk to Aman Gupta on a podcast? No.
Seriously. So, if you can find that, it's not for everybody, but you'll have to, I think, what phone was that? Never settle. OnePlus?
OnePlus, yeah.
OnePlus?
Never
settle.
Yeah.
I have that box. Okay, I bought a OnePlus phone. I have it for that box. The box says never settle. So, never settle until you find this amazing match between what you would rather do, even if you're not paid for it, what you would pay to get an opportunity to do.
Yeah.
If you can get paid for it, it's heaven on earth.
Absolutely.
Come on. And you're not going to measure clock time. Right? And your boss or your colleagues are not going to measure you by how long you have spent and what you have created. I go back to J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling she did much of her writing in a cafe, I heard. Yeah. So, she must have sat here like this and she must have kept looking out the window, visualizing Hogwarts, visualizing he who should not be named.
Yeah.
And what would that guy watching her must have said? Oh, this lady comes every day, orders coffee, keeps looking out of the window. Yeah? Is that how you measure J.K. Rowling?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, come on. This is probably for people who work blue collar, who work at the measurable game where how many widgets did you pack today?
Right.
How many stamps did you seal today? That's not the mind game that we are talking about.
I so agree, Raj. And I'll give a small little example. At the start of my career, 2015 actually I started, but this is 2016, where I was an anchor for this channel called Bollywood Now. And I was the solitary anchor, so all the videos was me. And we used to shoot Bombay hours, crazy hours, 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day. I never felt like...
Oh, you call it Bombay hours.
Bombay media hours. We have it, so we call it Bombay hours.
Nice.
So I never felt like massive hard work. We're shooting 8 videos a day. Didn't feel like. It was when the HR told me to sit down at the end of the week and on a sheet, okay, Korak, write down the name of the videos and put the link. I'm like, on the channel, just look it up. It's just me. Like, no, it has to be put. That's what felt like work to me, not the 16 hours of shoot day. So yes, I completely agree.
Einstein, somebody asked him, can you explain relativity in simple terms? And Einstein is supposed to have said, he gave many examples, including one that involved a woman seated on your lap. Go look it up. But the most important differentiation he makes is 1 minute seems like 1 hour. If I ask, this is the example he gave. If I put your hand on a burning hot stove, 1 minute seems like 1 hour. If a hot lady sits on your lap, 1 hour seems like 1 minute. That's relativity, he said.
Absolutely.
So, your example of interviewing people versus filing interviews
Yeah.
in a spreadsheet. So each manager's intent, each CEO's intent should be, how can I create that kind of work for my colleague that they would want to do it? They would kill to do,
Absolutely.
get to do.
I'd give a limb for this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yeah. Who did you say said it, Raj? Einstein?
Einstein.
If Einstein had given that example today, cancelled the next day, he would have been on social media. You know, I want to ask you this because having spoken to you, having seen the culture here at Zoho, having seen the campus, it seems a stark contrast to somebody who really, really inspires you. You've said it in the past. That's Mr. Steve Jobs. Absolute visionary. There's no doubt about that. But he was also known to be this really hard taskmaster. He could make people cry in minutes and meetings.
Right.
And he has been someone who's really inspired you. You've said that before as well. How do you balance this? Somebody who's yearning and chasing excellence at everything that they do. And on the other side of this really wonderfully happy personality that I'm talking to here, who passes that on to the people that you work with as well.
Correct. Two things here. The first thing is you can be a complete asshole while still being a visionary.
Yeah.
It's not mutually exclusive. Steve Jobs was one such. Very tough to work with, but people really obsessed wanting to work with him, take direct advice from him. Right? So let's understand that. The second thing I want to tell you is it's not about this person inspires me. There are a group of people out there, and one aspect of each person inspires you, motivates you. You feel like imbibing that into your personality. So we all hope we imbibe the good ones from the good people. Yeah. So that's the important thing. In terms of work ethics and thinking out of the box and motivating his colleagues, Steve Jobs was out there.
Absolutely.
Yes. I've read everything there is about him, his biography, people writing about Apple from inside Apple, critics of Apple from the outside, including a book by his daughter.
Yeah.
The Bite in the Apple is the name of the book. So all dimensions I have read. And it's a once in a century kind of personality who has come, had his impact and gone. And we should try to learn, I would say. But he is not alone in this game.
So true.
Because most of you will relate to NVIDIA and Jensen Huang.
Jensen Huang, yeah.
I am reading a book about him, and multiple times in the book already, there is a reference, very interesting visual graphic reference about what kind of nauseating person he is.
Achha.
Yeah. And it seems he will tear a person apart in a public dressing down, criticize him. And when there are more people, he will shout louder. And if there aren't enough people, he will wait for more people to gather. Okay. And one of them quotes 2 times in the book. The book is called The Thinking Machine. 2 times in the book, one of them quotes, having a conversation with Jensen is like putting your fingers into a power socket.
Ouch.
That was the live wire he was. But what a visionary. Who wouldn't want to work in that cutting edge technology that is powering all of the AI wave today?
So true. So true. You know, let's talk a little, because you gave these 2 references as well, which made me realize you gave the reference of the 1983 World Cup and what Kapil Dev and his team did in that. And you also gave the reference of J.K. Rowling. So, cricket enthusiast, loves to read, likes to watch movies. And another aspect of your side is the content creator in Raj.
Oh, okay.
A video a day, close to 400 videos.
$9.99.
$9.99. I'm so sorry. My bad. A video a day, 1,000 videos made till now. Say when you were shooting the 300 video or thinking about the 400 video to make, did tiredness ever get into it? Did boredom ever get into it? And what did you do to get out of that?
See, I have spoken about it earlier too
Hmm.
in one of my videos. I have asked that question myself.
Mhm.
What is your motivation? Why are you doing this? It's not for money. I'm not monetizing the channel. I can't. At Zoho, we have a policy about it.
Mm.
I won't. It is not for fame because I realized fame is not easy. Yeah. Um, it is an urge inside, a true, genuine urge inside to tell the people who follow me, who are friends with me, who want to know more about interesting discoveries I make in my learning journey. Not everybody gets to read the books I read, meet the people I meet. And so here is something I learned from those encounters. That was the primary reason. And of course, you could have just written a blog about it, or you could have just not made it once a day. You could have made it once a week or whenever you felt like it. Why uh, torture yourself with this once a day thing? I built a studio at my home. We broke up a wall and we put up a studio.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mm.
The answer to that, why this torture, is sometimes it helps in a busy man's life when you are when it is so easy to find an excuse to not learn. I'm busy doing the things I have to do, so I don't have time to learn this. That's where boredom sets in. You asked me, how are you feeling? I said, not satisfied.
Yeah.
Because that's where boredom sets in. That's where you fall into a little beautiful equilibrium, a throw of equilibrium, and you don't improve at all. So when the clock was ticking, next day morning after I finish my bath and my breakfast, I have to go to the studio, have something new to say. So I couldn't go to bed before researching something new to say.
Nice.
That made me read. So 1 year later, 3 years later, all my friends who have been watching my videos and who have not been watching my videos, who have been conversing with me in tea across tea tables and so on, they ask me, how do you know this? How did you read so much? What is your strategy? And now I realize this has helped me. When you nail some days and times into your calendar, it's like that famous story of that glass jar and big stones. You put those big stones in. 999 days, one of them was from a hospital. I had a knee injury.
Oh, wow.
I had a ligament repair happening. I shot this from a hospital. My wife was angry with me. And sorry, my dear. So, this obsession to routine, sometimes bordering even on childish. Come on, there are more important things in this world. But I realized only because I did that with such obsession, I was able to bake learning something new into my daily routine. Not all of us have that. What did you learn today that you didn't know already? Come on, is the question I ask you, right? So,
That's absolutely amazing. Now you know another channel that you must check out.
I also named it Quotidian.
Quotidian.
Yeah, quotidian means boring, dull, daily. So,
I thought it was something to do with quote.
no, you could think like that, but quotidian is an English word that means dull, boring, everyday, commonplace, daily. Yeah.
I want to ask you this one question, which kind of would take you back to the start of your Zoho days as well, and to now as well, which is about the bootstrap philosophy. Always bootstrapped. You guys never picked up from the market. There was never venture capital coming in. What were there reactions from the team that was saying, okay, guys, not the right way to go about it? And what kept the belief so strong that no, this is the way we follow?
Yeah. So there were a couple of times when you're doing penance and the damsels from heaven have come, Indra has sent them,
Apsaras.
right? Apsaras. And they are dancing, they are alluring, they are waiting to distract you. There were some occasions like that. Some big companies talked about acquisition, some venture capitalists came our way, but respectfully, we declined all those and we said slow and steady is the better philosophy. I even remember Sridhar and Tony talking about this graphic example, and we all subscribed to it. The early founding group, the 20 odd people, all of us unanimously agreed we should be individual, we should be independent fundamentally. This example was compare the physique and the inner body health and strength of a person who does 50 push ups to 100 push ups to slowly 500 push ups a day, 10 years. To another person who eats whey protein and takes a steroid injection.
Steroid.
Yeah. So both of them will look strong. In fact, one of them will have much better definition of muscles for photography.
Steroided person.
For photography. But get into a real arm wrestling competition and you will know that the person who is doing it daily
Real strength.
is real strength. So it was a very clear visual example. Time. It takes time. In fact, if it hasn't taken time, doubt it. I teach technology at the School of Technology in Zoho Schools. And one recent essay that we have been reading from a book, I read a book and we stop at occasional places and I comment about it. I tell them, hey, the book says this, but you know what? At Zoho we do things differently. All kinds of that kind of comparative learning we do. And one recent phrase we saw in this book, the book is called The Missing README, about a developer getting into the world of development. You need to have a README file, no? Typically, a software will have a README file. Unfortunately, there is no README file for a software engineer who comes into a company. And this book says, I am the missing README. Read it. And this book talks about a concept called boring technology. Boring technology is what powers the internet today. The mail system is about 65, 70 years old. The HTTP that we type is much older.
Yeah.
And that's boring. And it's like the cockroach. It will continue to survive even after other species come, go. Dinosaurs came, went, dodos came, went. But the cockroach is so beautifully evolved and so beautifully adaptive that it can change its shape, its needs, and so on based on the environment. So, boring is great. We will never be first page ads in any business today because we will not be taking venture, we will not be investing big crores of money anywhere, we will not be taking infusion because that infusion is undeserved. It is a bet on a dream, a gamble.
And a quick dream.
Quick. And when you get into the quick game, results need to be quicker, experiments need to be shorter, and there are some experiments that take time. We talked about that.
Raj, you mentioned right now what Zoho, some of the things that Zoho will not be. I want to ask you some of the things that Zoho will be and wants to be, what the future kind of looks like for Zoho, both near and distant.
Distant future is probably wishful thinking, but we don't see ourselves as a software company alone. There is hardware, there is deep technology even in manufacturing, and there is probably a grand convergence of all this coming with robotics. Imagine, we talk so much about AI. I read a book called The Coming Wave, and The Coming Wave talks about 3 waves coming, not AI only.
Okay.
The first wave he talks about is gene editing. We completely forgot about it because the next wave, AI, came too soon. CRISPR and gene editing and what do you call disease chopping away.
Can I say a little something? I think in 2025 itself, scientists in one of the North Antarctic countries or cities, with the help of gene editing, they revived dire wolves, which
yeah,
extinct
yes,
centuries ago.
yes, yes.
3 of them were
Yeah,
revived. Yeah,
yeah.
they looked exactly like the dire wolves used in Game of
Correct.
Thrones.
Good
So,
one.
yes.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gene editing,
Mhm.
then is AI, and the third thing is robotics,
Yeah.
where software gets into the world, the real world,
Mhm.
opening a door, climbing a tree. Imagine AI marrying robotics. What happens? Imagine an independent thinking robot coming into the room.
Yeah.
So, of course, we don't see ourselves as a software company.
Mhm.
We do see ourselves as an enabler. So, we want to continue to be that pocket knife. All of us will have one. Yeah. When needed, we will cut something. When we needed, we will open something, can opener, right? A measurer, that kind of easy, handy set of tools. We continue to see ourselves like that. We also hope and wish to play an important role in India's, we could even call it, second fight for independence.
What are we trying
The first one is over.
over? 1947.
The second fight for independence is independence in manufacturing, independence in, autonomy. If some country decides you are growing too fast and I'm afraid and I'm not going to sell you my raw material, or I'm going to impose a import duty on you, what happens to this country?
that is already happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we want to play our little role. Um, we would like to be an example that other companies can emulate and demonstrate that this country cannot be meddled with. We are a force to reckon with. We have the demographic dividend. We have the democratic structure in place where the people vote and choose their next leader. And we have a good educational system. We have heritage, thousands of years of heritage to bank on, a value system. All of this should translate into true independence. Yeah. So that's the best gift we can give to our next generation.
Raj, you mentioned robotics. I didn't even think that I will ask you this, but it popped up into my head because 2025, 2026 was being talked about to be this time where robotics, for those who can afford, massive privilege, robotics will enter households. Robots will enter households, autonomous robots, they have agency, they can think on their own, act. I quickly want to ask you this, when an AI, just an AI chatbot also hallucinates to the point where a student was asking for help for homework and the hallucination was as bad that things like die and all was said. So when a chatbot can hallucinate and create this kind of effects, a robot with AI can think on its own, has agency. What if they hallucinate? The results can actually be physical catastrophic results.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the news media is probably blowing it out of proportion. Um, there was a time when Intel made a chip called the Pentium chip before i1, i2, and so on. And there was a moment where the Pentium chip had a flaw. If you ask what 2 plus 2 is, it will not give 4 in some rare considerations. It will give you a long series of zeros and a 1 or a 2 after a decimal point. And in some rare cases, this caused catastrophe. And Intel went through such bad press. People went on an anti-Intel campaign. Intel bought back some of the chips it had sent out. It was a special inflection point almost. Andy Grove was the founder and the CEO at that time, and he has written a book called Only the Paranoid Survive, based on that moment in Intel's life. Intel is doing well.
Of course.
Yeah. It's not NVIDIA, but it's doing well. We went over that time. So what you see today of AI is just a baby.
True.
It's a baby. Only the true visionaries and truly positive, optimistic people can look at a baby and say, great, this is going to be the apex predator of our animal kingdom. Yeah. Otherwise, if you look at a baby, human baby, and compare it with a gorilla baby. The gorilla can already climb a tree.
Right.
The gorilla baby, the cub. The lion cub can already run. The deer, baby deer, can already run. The giraffe is a little baby, falls 6 feet. First thing in life, 6 feet fall. Yeah. But this baby has to be cuddled, has to be pampered for 2 long years. We are the longest suckled mother's milk, longest suckled animal in the animal
Is
kingdom.
the human baby?
Yes.
Ah.
So, such unique, we are the one it delivered so soon because the human head, the brain, the most important organ for us, it's growing so fast. If you have the baby inside the mother's womb for much longer,
Yeah.
it won't be able to come out without killing the mother. So deliver it. That was the biological formula, the game. So when I look at all the talk about hallucination, this doomsday talking, right? AI, robots will kill us, and so on. These are all commentary about the baby.
Hmm.
Today, it is our moral responsibility to take care of the baby and give it good values, guardrails they call it, good values, and teach it the right behavior. But you have no right to pass commentary on what the baby is going to become.
Hmm.
You cannot, you are not intelligent enough to limit its future. That's what it is. Yeah. So it's going to become a super intelligence. It's not AGI, it is ASI. And when that's becoming reality in your life, you should thank your stars. You at least have a role to play in its development and do the good thing. And every time you post nasty comments in YouTube or the social media, remember you are teaching the baby wrong values because the baby is listening to what you're saying.
Absolutely.
What you feed the internet is what the baby eats.
That's the data.
That's the data.
Yeah.
So it is your moral responsibility to act clean, be clean.
Raj, that was a lovely answer there. We are almost towards the end of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
But like any very, very good conversation, which this one completely has been, we will not be complete without a rapid fire.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it's time for the rapid fire segment.
All right.
Raj is a great storyteller, which you guys already know by now. But for this one, rapid.
Okay.
Rapid, quick, whatever comes out of your head at that point.
All right.
All right. First question. IIT Madras or Zoho office, where did you actually learn more about life?
Of course, Zoho office. Yeah.
One skill you wish Indian schools taught really well, but they still don't.
Patience, very important. And adapting to failure. Celebration sometimes of failure. These two are important.
Also, one I may add, please teach a little about taxing.
Taxing.
Taxes. You guys don't teach anything.
Financial
Exactly.
fitness. Yeah.
Code or content, which one is harder to do consistently?
Content.
Okay. First thing you look for in a Zoho school student, curiosity, discipline, or lack of privilege?
The leap of faith is more important than all the others because you need to strike out into that darkness. What Draupadi did with Krishna. She said, take care of me. And that's when Krishna came. So I want that quality in this student because truth be told, we ourselves are not completely 100% sure about how things are going to go the next year.
I love the honesty.
Yeah, yeah. So at that time, you need to be with us. You need to trust us. We will be with you. We may get half a pizza instead of one, but one slice is yours.
Love.
Yeah, if you like pizza.
Because you're a voracious reader, I'm going to tweak the question a little. 2 books that genuinely changed the way you think.
Okay, one is an all-time favorite of mine. It's called the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
That's the name of the book?
That's the name of the book. Philip Persig is the name of the author. I strongly recommend. It's tough to read. It's a probably group read. 3-4 of you should get together and chew through it and discuss. He talks about it. It's It's an amazing book. It also has some of the seeds of Zoho Schools itself. In fact, Sridhar, when he made the first announcement of Zoho Schools as an initiative way back in 2004, refers to this book.
Nice.
It's a favorite of his too. So, the second book I would say is Jonathan Livingston Seagull. It is a parable, a fable kind of book about a bird, a seagull in a harbor, learning to fly and learning to go to next levels of excellence. It's a great story, multi-layered story. Author is Richard Bach. So these two books.
All right, there you go. One business trend everyone is excited about today, but you are secretly skeptical of.
AI replacing customer support. So everybody talks about AI will take care, audio, even Google went live ordering to an AI and the AI responding with such a natural human voice and all that. I'm afraid that will not pick up.
Any particular reason?
Reason, humans like talking to other humans.
We are a social community.
We are a social community. And probably solutions that work in Iceland and Australia won't work in India.
So true.
Because our population, we want to work and we want other people around us. So it's a little unselfish, I would say. Yeah.
All right. Homeschooling myth you're tired of hearing.
They always say teaching and students, you are depriving them of learning from others around them. My college time, my school time, you know how many friends I have, they will miss out on all that. But today, that's no longer the case. There are so many beautiful communities where weekly they get together. I, for example, brought my son very early into Zoho and he participated in the football tournaments here.
Lovely.
So the mixed age group I talked about is probably more valuable than the artificial single age group you're putting your child in. So that's a myth I wish people break.
Your favorite me time activity?
Reading.
I kind of guessed it will probably be that. One Steve Jobs trait that you admire the most?
I think he could sell ice to an Eskimo. Yeah, the story he built around it, the way he weaved words together. I watched some of his presentations. Many of them are rehearsed, but some of his unrehearsed presentations, no slides, but he would still weave those words together and motivate. Yeah, they called it RDF, reality distortion field. When Steve was around, reality seemed distorted and I committed. He moved out of the room and that's when I wondered, what timeline did I commit to? What did I promise I would do? Oh, that's the RDF happening, the elder colleague would say. So RDF is reality itself changes because of his presence and his words. So I admire that.
Lovely. One piece of advice that you would give to the 20-year-old self of you?
My own 20-year-old self. Keep the faith. I think all of us would want to give the same thing because around 20, there is this, what's the purpose of all this kind of question that hits us? In my case, it was dejection after failure at college. But I'm sure all of us, there is love failure put on somebody. There is an early...
Many of them.
there is early parent loss. There is monetary loss. There is so much happens. And it is like the sinusoidal wave. 6 waves later, we know what goes up comes down, what goes down comes up. But after one wave, we can't tell. And at 20, we are at one wave. If it is going down, we don't know that there is a moment coming up too. And if it is going up, we think all is fine, but there is coming down too. So when waves aren't, enough wavelengths of the wave aren't done, we need somebody to tell us, keep the faith. This is part of the game. What goes up will come down. What goes down won't stay down. I wish I was able to say that to my 20-year-old.
All right, last rapid fire question. If Zoho didn't exist today, what would Raj be doing?
I would probably be an author, a writer. Yeah? If I were, I have been asked this question in other way. Like if you weren't a software engineer, if I were a software engineer, I would want to work in Zoho. If I weren't a software engineer, I would have wanted to be a writer because I love reading, and over time I have created a style of my own, and I like writing. I like impacting people with my writing. So
Is that in the pipeline, a book sometime that you want to write?
no comments. People have asked me, but no, I don't know if I have it in me.
If you do write,
Okay.
that is one book that I'll definitely want to
Okay,
read.
thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Raj, that was the last rapid fire question. This is going to be our last essay type question.
Okay.
ICSE essay type question. If one has to ask you to give one or say maybe two pieces of advice to an Indian youngster who, like Sridhar, back in the mid 1990s, like you, wants to build something in India, for India, and then take it to the world, what is going to be that one or two pieces of advice?
Okay. Zoho is a great example to emulate. So I have told you about patience. I've told you about it takes time. I've told you about don't take loans. I've told you about this rural talent finding. These are all great examples to emulate, whatever you are, whichever domain you are in. But here is another piece of advice I would like to share. You may want to take this. Think deeply about why you are wanting to do it. Simon Sinek, start with why. He said that very clearly.
Find your why.
Find Your Why was the second book. Start with why, find your why. So, is it because your colleague is doing it? Is it because it's the in thing, trending to do now? Is it because you have some money? Is it because there are some people who do this? Is it because I won't work under another boss? I can be only my own boss. Is it because of that? Is it the quest for easy money, quick fame? All of these are not the reasons for which you should take the plunge. In fact, Swami Vivekananda says this. He says, he who wants to command must first learn how to obey. So, please take up a job in some company. Understand what it means to work with others. Be ordered around by others, ordering others, the chemistry, and then set out to change the world. I am 16, I already have 3 ideas, is probably not the perfect template for a success story. Yes, you hear about them often, but we don't hear about the thousands of others who do the same thing,
Right.
but fail, miserably fail. So, give it time, do it for the right reason, and follow the Zoho template, if you can call it that. Yeah.
Raj, thanks to my work as an anchor since the last decade and a half, no, not decade and a half, decade and half a year.
Okay.
10.5 years. Thanks to my
Okay.
work as an anchor since the last 10.5 years, I have been fortunate enough to do podcasts and interviews and discussions with a lot of people and people from varied genres. 2 of them we named in the podcast, Aman Gupta, Somnath sir from ISRO. I'm not going to names drop, but I've done podcasts with the likes of people like Prabhas and KL Rahul and multiple folks.
Okay.
This has been one of the finest podcasts I've got
Thank
the
you.
chance to host.
Thank you. Humbled.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. It was my absolute pleasure to host this discussion.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, how was the chat for you?
It was amazing. And the flow, the way you had notes, but I'm quite sure you went off script.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So the way you structured it didn't put me under pressure of any kind and made me tell the unvarnished truth, so to speak. But you did point out that the cancelling bit, I should have probably avoided
Oh, no,
Newton.
Einstein.
Einstein. Yeah. So that was interesting. And thanks a lot, and hope you have a good time here in campus.
We are.
One question I
Yes,
wanted to
please,
ask you,
please.
because it brought up some childhood memory. Korak,
Yes.
the name. What does it mean? And this is the first Korak I'm hearing.
I love that.
Ah.
I love that. All the credit goes to Ma, the mom. So, Korak is a Sanskrit term.
Ah,
It means a flower bud.
okay.
Flower when it's just born.
Okay.
The Sanskrit term for that is Korak.
I am shocked and surprised, but I'm also able to connect the dots here because my childhood hero, superhero, there were no superheroes at that time, but my childhood superhero, secretly I consider him my hero even now, was Tarzan.
Tarzan's son.
Yes!
Yes, yes.
Tarzan's son is correct.
His name is Korak, yes.
And bud,
Yeah.
unflowered bud,
Yeah.
correct. So was there a Sanskrit connection to what Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote? I wonder.
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Raj, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
It was an absolute delight to host this chat with you. Please do tell us in the comments, how did you find this conversation? Tell us your favorite parts. And of course, refer to the shorts and reels as well. There are going to be plenty. I can right now think of at least 7 and 8
Right.
of reels that are going to come out.
I need to put a warning also here. All that we said today are stuff that worked for one company, one person. Yeah. If you really want to make a mark of your own as an individual or as a company, doing what somebody else does is probably a very bad idea. Right? In South India, there is this, you must have heard of, not just South India, Rajinikanth.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah.
He's an
So there is this phrase called Rajini style.
yeah.
So many people
Tried to emulate, right?
have tried to emulate.
Only he can do it.
Only he can do it. That's the same with cricketers and their stroke hitting, right? There is only one A.B. de Villiers. There is only one Chris Gayle. There should be only one.
Yeah.
You should find a path of your own. I am waiting to hear your story. I'm looking forward. Thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, tell us in the comments your favorite parts from this podcast. I am dead sure there are going to be many. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to the Mad Podcast for more such.
And consider using Zoho tools. There is always one free version out there. You can subscribe and learn more about.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Absolutely. Please do. Yes, subscribe to the Mad Podcast and don't forget to stay tuned for more original content just like this. This was Raj and me, Korak, from the Mad Podcast. I will see you in the next one.
Thank you. Thank you.
This was not a tech story. This was conviction in action. A completely different way to build and build a billion-dollar company, that too. A completely different way to teach as well, both his students and his son. So if this challenged any of your beliefs, say as a founder, a techie, or as a parent, let us know in the comments which one. Don't forget to subscribe to Mobile App Daily for more such original content and podcasts just like this. This is me, your friend Arattai. I will see you in the next one.